Does it strike anyone else as odd? Like, I know I was born in 1997, but kids going to grade 9, born in the year 2000. Like, God. So, I'm a senior this year, and you know what that means.
And we're gonna rule the school.
I gotta tell you, if I do more of these, there's gonna be so many more Grease references. Fuck me, you Amy. So as I said, I'm starting school in a couple of weeks, which made me think that other of you will be starting school. Some of you have already started those weird schools in America. So, I thought I would give you my freshman year, tell you what it was all about, and give you advice also to you incoming freshmen.
Incoming freshmen, beware! Listen to this following video.
Yeah, you're not gonna get very popular if you listen to me. So, I go to this school called Norwell District Secondary School in Palmerston, Ontario, or as the really old folks say, Palmerston, Ontario. It's a fairly small school. We lose more every year. I think this year we had 700 students, which might be a little bit different for some of you that's watching this. I'd have like 1,200, 1,400, like 2,000 people in your school. But I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna start off with Link Day. Now I don't know if every school has this. It's it's like a grade 9 welcoming day where the senior students, 2 of them get paired up with this group of grade 9s, and most of them they try to pick from different schools since there's about 4 or 5 different feeder schools that go into Norwell, and they do activities like first there's an opening ceremonies where there's the wacky teacher. I'm not going to try to name names, but you know who I'm talking about if you're from Norwell. Want to rub each other's shoulders of those who do not know. And there was even a balloon popping session where they get 3 boys from the audience and they get a girl link leader, and they had to go up and hug her and try to pop the balloon, which was nice for the boys. And then there would be 3 girls that go up to the boy and try to pop it. It was really fun actually, and it was just a great way to get introduced into high school. Now, the whole time everyone wanted to know their schedules and everything, but that had to wait till around noon and to get a tour of the school. They did activities throughout the day, and I was in a gym with my group where I met my good friend Mel. I don't know if you know Mel, but Mel is Mel. And we would do things like we'd introduce ourselves, and then we'd do this game with this. We'd scrumple up a piece of paper and we'd pass it to each other and remember who we passed it to. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people just wanted to get their darn schedules, but I found it a lot of fun, and I actually ended up becoming a link leader. If I continue this, I'll talk a lot about that because it is even more fun being on the other side if you have a good group of grade 9s, because some of those grade 9s. So we got our schedules, and I figured out first semester I have English, Geography, French, and Business. Eager freshman! Get in. So of course I'm walking to the school on the first day up to my locker on the 2nd floor, going like, yeah, that's right, I was an eager freshman! So of course, me being an eager freshman, I meet my friend at the locker, and we're in the same first class, which was an applied English class, which is not like, I think you guys have advanced placement. It's academic, applied, and essential for us. And applied's like the middle level. I'm comfortable with that. So I went into there, and I was ready for the first day. We had a blonde teacher. Every English teacher I ever had was blonde, not dumb. Like, they were all extremely smart, but they were, yeah, it was pretty cool. So, of course, I get in there. I get my seat right by the window, and I look at the clock and I go, oh, we have an hour and a half till my next class. Oh yeah, we actually have to learn. But English was a pretty cool class, and since it was applied, they thought it was pretty cool to bring in another teacher, which is actually my gymnastics coach when I was younger, so I knew her already. And she'd bring snacks every Tuesday to our class, which was just, and since it was a morning class, I'm not a breakfast person. I can't eat it till maybe an hour after I get up. So it was just perfect. I grab my juice box and I eat it. Well, not the juice box. I'm really awkward in front of the camera. Just kidding. So let's move on. So after the bell would ring, after English every day, I'd go over to my geography class, which is an academic classrooms, probably one of the older classrooms too. And the teacher, everyone agrees, they call him one of the best there. He was so cool because he was so passionate about geography, and it ended up sometimes going the whole class where he would just talk, and the whole class would participate. And not that I don't love worksheets or anything, but him talking was just so much better. It was also cool because he had a whole rack at the back of the class that had magazines, like Maclean's magazines. I'm Canadian, everyone. Woo! Blue Jays. Funny story about this shirt. I wore this picture day. So as I was saying, he had magazines all across. Maclean's, National Geographic, Canadian Geographic, and we had a thing called Normal Reads, where at the end of second period every day you'd read for 20 minutes, which is a good idea if you have a good book. If you're not, you're trying to hide your phone, you're trying to do everything you can. It is the longest 20 minutes if you don't have a book. So he said to us first day, hey guys, you can read those. So I was like, perfect. So every day I'd go grab a book or a magazine and I'd read a few articles, flip through the pages, and then 20 minutes would go by just fine. So after geography, we would head to lunch. And lunch, oh my Lord, a lot of you already know me, know what I'm going to say. Subway. Since we're in our small school, we come from a small town, not the cafeteria food, the cafeteria food's great, but there was nowhere any other options except the Subway right across the street. So first day, I go there with my friend, everything's packed, but I go, I get my sub, we didn't know where to sit, so we sat in this little, like, it was outside, it was the most awkward place to sit. We learned our lesson, just eat in the Subway. So I basically went there every day, thanks Mom and Dad for the money, but they got to know my order. Like, I want to thank Tiffany, Lois, and Sonia. You guys know my order. I just walk in there and it's basically made. I love it so much. So one day, second day of school, I was wearing a Charlie Brown shirt, and these grade 11 girls noticed me, and they thought I was just so cute in my Charlie Brown shirt. So one day, after the bridge, me and my friends were walking, and they saw us in the car. Like, they drove by, and they said, guys, want to ride back to school? And it was just around the corner, the school parking lot. So we said, sure. Sure enough, there was barely any room, and me and my friend were basically in the trunk. We were safe, though, but it was terrifying. They drove us down the street, basically speeding to the song Party Rock Anthem, which was the best and most scariest experience of grade 9. So after lunch, I would head to business class, and business was just business. Sit on the computer, make spreadsheets. One time it was pretty funny because there was buyouts where kids would give $2. Kids would give $2 to go to a hockey game that the senior boys were playing. And I didn't really know much about hockey and everything, so I just stayed behind. There was like 4 of us that stayed behind. One of those friends was Cody, and he was, being a smarty to the teacher, saying, oh, you would never fail me. All my teachers actually give me a good grade. And he just came right back and said, well, that's just because they want to get rid of you. So that was exciting. So after business, we would head to French class. I was in applied French, I believe. And the first day, of course, my friend Charlene, who ended up being a prom master, Charlene, directed me to the wrong classroom. I made it there in time. I said bonjour to the teacher because I thought, eager freshman! So, French class was very interesting because it was like, sometimes you get a good applied classes and sometimes the people... We had there was only 3 girls in the class, which was weird. It was all guys. And one of the girls dropped it the first day after she fell into the chair, laughed, and left. Another guy, after we got our textbooks, I actually know this guy, he got the textbook, he said, F this book, and left the classroom. Great first day. We also, when we were finally good enough, we watched Ratatouille in English with French subtitles, which, in hindsight, I don't think we really paid attention to the subtitles, but, it was a great learning experience. We also watched The Count of Monte Cristo, which had... We also watched The Count of Monte Cristo, which had Richard Harris in it, who played Dumbledore, but I didn't know it at the time. When we first came on the screen, I must look like a psycho to the class, because I was going, alright. Is that Dumbledore? Hey, that's Dumbledore. My god, you remember that movie? That was Dumbledore. So that was first semester of freshman year. This video has been much longer than I anticipated, so I'm going to make it a two-parter. Semester 2 should be up soon, which that was an interesting semester. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, share to all of your little freshman friends for you born in the year 2000. Yeah, that's right. Or in future years if you're watching this. Good luck, and I'll see you for semester 2.